Good evening, my friends. It's my great, excuse me, my great pleasure to present to you tonight the DIY body cleansing hacks, beauty inside and out. Why is it always that we get frogs in our throat when we're just about to start talking? My name is Berit Munro, and it is my absolute pleasure to move you through and go through this particular webinar with you tonight, which is really talking about how we can help our body to detox and make sure that we look glowing, or that we are glowing on the outside as much as we are on the inside, and vice versa. So let's get started. Here is our beautiful lifestyle pyramid, and our pyramid overall that allows us to determine, where we are with our wellness concerns and where we are wellness wise in terms of our maintenance program. So obviously the base or the bottom of the pyramid is all about eating right. Then we need to do some exercise, rest and manage stress. But tonight's webinar is all focused on reducing that toxic load. And you would agree that all of those four first rungs of this particular pyramid are all to do with lifestyle, which means we have got direct control over things. So let's look at what toxic load actually means. So toxins can be anything from pathogens, and pathogens are bacteria, viruses and parasites and fungi, those kind of things. Chemicals, so that's all the toxic stuff that's really out there that you might encounter as part of your beauty products. And there's of course a healthy dose of radiation, whether that is us working on our phones all the time, whether that's computers, whether that's having x-rays and those kind of things, plus a general magnetic or electromagnetic field exposure that we experience on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing to do really, if we're looking at body cleansing, is to actually, before we actually get to the cleansing aspect, is really reducing our toxic load in the first place. So let's just avoid that toxic exposure. And the things that we can do is we can actually, we can use our oils, our essential oils, to soak some veggies or fruit that we might have purchased and get rid of the pesticides that are on the outside of those. So if you've got any produce, you just bring it home, run your sink full of warm water, and simply add your lemon oil to that. You can add 3, 4, 5 drops of lemon oil to that, leave it to soak for a while, then just shake things off, and then store that obviously appropriately. I know some people are using our On Guard essential oil blend as well for that. It just depends what you prefer. I mean, lemon obviously it leaves you with a lemon scent, and our On Guard more of a clove and cinnamon wild orange kind of aroma. So the other thing that we can do is to avoid breathing anything in that perhaps we shouldn't. We can clean our air using some oils, and I'm not even going to list the number of oils that we can use to actually diffuse so that we cleanse our air. And that is just personal preference. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just put into your diffuser what attracts you, what you like, what your family enjoys, and just have some fun with it. I think some of us have sort of forgotten to have that, and it's just a joy to just look on the internet and have a look even on Instagram or Pinterest, whatever your social media platform is, and just check out what are some of the wonderful diffuser blends that people have created. And it's always really quite a revelation what people pop into their diffusers. Now, in order for us to cleanse our body, as I said, we want to make sure that we don't actually take any toxins on board. So we're really going to be mindful what we're going to put in, on, and around our body. So obviously, skincare range is very important. Don't slap additional toxic chemicals on your face. Our hair care is important, because while you're in the shower rinsing things off, guess what? That's going to be absorbed by your skin as well through those warmed and open pores now that you have opened through that warm shower. Cleaning our environment with On Guard Cleaner Concentrate is going to reduce your toxins dramatically. So in fact, that's all I have at home. This is my detergent for the floors, for the windows, for everything. And if I run out of dishwasher liquid, I can use this in the dishwasher as well. Laundry detergent, be mindful what you use. If you use the commercial powders from the supermarket, Laundry detergent doesn't get cleaned out in our rinse, 100%. So whatever toxins that they have used, whatever chemicals they have used rather, that will actually stay on our, on our body as well. So, we've just got to be mindful of what we do there. Now, we can create some healthy habits. So you will find tonight's webinar is all about creating some healthy habits. We've actually just currently run out of the On Guard sanitizing mist in Australia just now. I don't know what the stock levels are like in the US, but you know what, you can make your own hand sanitizer. So I will show you at the end, but what you can do is you can grab a 50 or a 15 ml bottle. So a 15 ml bottle. The 15 ml bottle is really just leftover stock that you might have, so leftover bottles that you have emptied, and then put some rubbing alcohol into that. Rubbing alcohol, it's called isocol actually. Let me just stop sharing there, and then I can actually show you what that looks like. Here we go. Hi guys, hi Magda, hi Gay. So I've got some 15 ml bottles, so we can use those. Picked those up the other day quite reasonably, or you can actually just simply use the the leftover 15 ml bottles, and you can get some spray tops for them as well, so you can reuse them, repurpose them, which is what I really like doing. And the isocol is this. You just get that at the supermarket. Let me just bring that to the camera. That is just some rubbing alcohol. So rubbing alcohol is actually isopropyl alcohol that has had water added to it, because for alcohol to work, it's actually better when it's in combination with water. The way it works, it goes into the cell and kind of works on the proteins in the cell and does something there, and then the water actually helps to coagulate the material in there and really just kind of kill the cell, kill the bacteria rather. So we do need some water for that. So if you have pure isopropyl alcohol or isopropanol, then dilute that down to 70%. That seems to be the optimal kind of dilution, at least 70%, or you can go as high as maybe 90%, 85, 90%. But this rubbing alcohol, you just buy that from the supermarket. And then let me just go back to the presentation. Then you can see what we're going to be doing. Where are we? There we are. And there we go. So all we're going to do there is we are going to add the rubbing alcohol, or that 70% dilution of isopropyl alcohol with water. You're going to add that to the bottles, and you can add some fractionated coconut oil to that, probably about 5 drops or so, 10 drops. That's really just to give it a little bit of slip and also to protect your skin. The other thing that you can do is you can add some aloe vera to that. Aloe vera gel, you can just buy that in any good health food shop. So that would be, really useful as well. And then we just add 15 drops of On Guard, 5 of lemon oil, and 1 of oregano. Okay. So make sure that you add your fractionated coconut oil to that, please, because we've added some oregano. And then you just spray your hands. Now, when I go to the supermarket, I don't spray the handle of the trolley. I actually spray my hands, because I might be touching other things as well, and that just gives me better protection, I feel. Now, the other thing that we need to do in order to cleanse is not just avoid the toxic exposure in the first place, it's actually also supporting our defensive functions. So our body detoxes on a daily basis. It's really smart. It's all set up to do that very, very well, but it actually does need some supportive, it needs a little bit of help. And what it needs on a daily basis is some help from minerals, some micronutrients, some healthy fats. It needs also some vitamins and things like that. So these are obviously in our lifelong vitality pack. So I can't stress enough how important that is. When our body is nutritionally starved and doesn't have all of the nutrients that it actually needs, it is simply not going to function at the level that we need it to. and that is going to cause some problems, you know, in your body. So definitely grab hold of those. It's really there to kind of nourish and to fortify you. So we've got some nutrients there. It gives you some energy, obviously, but it actually enhances liver function, and that is what we're going to spend some time on. Also, these nutrients and all the other things that are in our lifelong vitality supplements allow for free radicals to be neutralized by antioxidants and things like that. And then, of course, we're going to also work on actually creating some sort of appropriate inflammatory response. And that's why the lifelong vitality are absolutely fabulous. Now, I've thrown in the hair follicle analysis that I do, and the reason being is that sometimes we just absolutely do not know what are our levels of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and things like that in our body. Where are they? You know, am I eating appropriately? Could I up the ante a little bit by eating extra foods of a certain variety that are actually going to supplement and complement, you know, what I'm taking on? Am I deficient in certain areas? So I do hair follicle analysis. If that is something that's of interest to you to find out where your baseline physiology is, then just shoot me a message and we can chat, you know, about that. So what we can do then is we need to look at actually getting rid of the toxins that we have got in our body. So now what we need to do is we need to support our elimination functions. And this is where the liver comes in. So the liver is a super duper busy organ. It performs about 500 different functions. It creates bile, which is super important for digestion, but it also helps with detoxification. Now, the liver also stores fat-soluble vitamins. So here comes the science bit, guys. So just kind of tune in. So fat-soluble vitamins are really necessary, and I'll show you later on where we need them. The liver also stores unresolved emotions, mostly anger and those kind of things, frustration. You know, if you've got that pain under your rib cage on the right-hand side that's not related to food, it might just be because you're just angry with the world and a little bit irritated and frustrated and things are upsetting you. And that often plays out in the liver. So we also need to clean up our thoughts. So if you get up in the morning and you're determined to have a horrible day, well, you are simply going to have a horrible day. You're going to attract that. But, you know, if you monitor and regulate and modulate the way you think about the world, that is also going to help you with the detoxification process. Would you believe it? So definitely the liver is the major detoxification organ. And it does that through a number of enzyme systems. So here is a really complex slide. There's no need to you know, memorize this, obviously. But, you know, basically when we've got toxins, we now divide them into a step 1 and a step 2 kind of phase of detoxification. And here are the nutrients that are required for each phase. So you see that folic acid, B3, B6, B12, and so forth. And then in the second part, we've got different things that are required, particularly amino acids and things like that. So if you are short of, let's say, your B vitamins, if you are lacking energy and you're flagging, really, you just can't get the, you know, haven't got any oomph, it might well be that you're lacking vitamin B. If you're lacking vitamin B, you won't be able to break down your toxins. If you can't break down your toxins, they're going to build up in your body. That's going to further compound you feeling that lack of energy and that va-va-voom that you normally experience. So you can see how important it is to have these vitamins ready. And, you know, this is what I mean. Have the hair follicle analysis done by all means. But, you know, definitely get onto the lifelong vitality so that you are supplementing and complementing what you are already doing. Okay, so then these toxins go through step 1, step 2, or phase 1, phase 2, and waste products are created, and then they're eliminated via certain body systems. So gallbladder and is where the bile is stored, and that then creates a bowel action. So that's kind of more fat soluble toxins, and then water soluble chiefly go out in through the kidneys via urine. So what we do need as part of the whole detoxification process, we need oxygen. Oxygen is super, super important. to help with these phases, okay? And we need enzymes. They're called P450 or 450s enzymes, and there are 58 different types of enzymes that we need. So again, if you're lacking enzymes, you are not going to be breaking down these toxins. Now, enzymes, we generally think about enzymes in terms of breaking down our food. Let me just go back. And breaking down food. But once the enzymes have been used up for all our digestive part, they then go off in their merry way and then actually look at the toxin side of things. So it's extremely important to, to have enzymes at the ready. So here we've got a very simplified version of this. So everything goes via the toxins, and then we bring things out via the colon, by the kidneys. So that's the urine, that's the poop. So we poop it out, we pee it out. We also breathe out a lot of toxins via our lungs, okay? So any yogis out there, they're very healthy because they know how to do deep breathing. And then whatever is not going out via the colon, lungs, and kidneys is definitely coming out then via your skin. So if you've got breakouts on your skin, it's imperative to look at what's happening on the inside rather than paying particular attention to what's happening on the outside. It's, when things are clogged up inside, it comes out via the skin. Now let's have a look at what we can do in terms of essential oil support. So for the liver, the lemon oil is absolutely brilliant for that. Just add it to your water, guys. Make sure it's a stainless steel bottle or a glass bottle. To move things along in the colon, we can draw on our digest zen to go along and support our kidney function. We can use lemongrass oil. You just rub that, a drop or two, in some fractionated coconut oil onto the back of, onto your back, your lower back, and that will reach your kidneys. Or you can have it in food. You can even add it to water or have a tea to eliminate our toxins via our lungs. Just open up our lungs, really get that breath going with some easy air. Just cup that in your hands and cup that hand over your nose. And then the skin, if you've got any outbreaks, and tea tree oil is really, really supportive. So here are some toxin binders, okay? So sometimes we've got toxins in our system and they like to have a little bit of extra support. So we can use activated charcoal to bind toxins. So you can get that in a powder, but you know what, guys, it makes one heck of a mess. So I actually use it just in capsules, okay? Just go to a good quality health food store and check in with them to get some capsules. You would only use it for acute situations, and I really mean that you would only use it every now and then for maybe a week, and then that's it. And the reason being that activated charcoal also binds to minerals and to certain vitamins. So if you take activated charcoal for too long, you're actually going to deplete your body of the very things that you need. Clays are really good. So they're very selective actually, and you can use bentonite clay or zeolite. There are a whole number of clays around. Bentonite is particularly wonderful with mold and other microbes, and you can use that for a longer period of time, so weeks or some months actually, especially with mold. That's going to take a little while to get out of your system, so bentonite clay is really supportive there. You can take that internally, just in some water, stir it in, and then just drink the water. So that's a really cool way to do that. Chlorella is an algae, so you can use that, and that's particularly good for heavy metals, as is cilantro oil, okay? But, use a terra greens, which is a beautiful mix of wheatgrasses and, kale and broccoli leaf and all sorts of wonderful green, collard greens. They are really good for your phase 2 of detoxification. And then beautiful green juices, of course, as well. Now, if you're going to make green juices, please, please, please only use organic veggies. Otherwise, you're going to be drinking a toxic cocktail laced with herbicides and fungicides, which is really not going to do your body any good whatsoever. Now, as I said earlier on, we need enzymes, okay? So here is Terrazyme. We can only get that in the US at the moment. I'm excited to see it appear on the Australian price list at some point, but Terrazymes for the moment get them from the US. So here are all the sort of digestive enzymes listed. But as I said, once the digestion has been taken care of in terms of breaking food down into micronutrients, then the rest of the enzymes will then be used for the detoxification process. So that is super cool. Now, you know, you really, as I said, you need to know what you need, and the hair follicle test is super duper to tell you what that is. Now, you cannot overdose on enzymes. So look, some days I take probably about 8 capsules. I'll spread them out throughout the day, but it just means that my body has everything that it needs for detoxification. So that's always good. Now, some healthy habits, some things that you can do are dry brushing. It's an old-fashioned kind of thing. My mother used to have this particular brush with a really long handle in the bathroom, and I used to wonder when I was a little girl, what on earth is she doing with that? How can she possibly brush her hair with that long brush? But in fact, it was there to help do some dry brushing. Now, dry brushing will slough off some of the dead skin cells, which might clog up your skin. So that's a really good way to actually get rid of your dead skin cells. But it really is designed to stimulate the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is your waste transportation system. And when that's clogged up, then it doesn't matter how many toxins you try to remove, things are just not going to move along. So you really need to make sure that your lymphatics are working. Now, when we say dry brushing, it is not there to give yourself a real scrub until you're red. Actually, the lighter you do it, the better it is. It will still slough off your dead skin cells, but it is actually going to be so much more stimulating to your lymphatic system, which sits just underneath the skin. So the lighter, the better. So no need to turn yourself into a beetroot. Add a couple of drops of zendocrine oil to that. That will be really supportive to to help. Grapefruit oil is wonderful, smart and sassy if you like things like a bit of a tingle, because it's got peppermint oil in it and ginger oil and things like that. It's just awesome. But also aroma touch, because it has basil in it and cypress. And if in the heat at the moment and you're sitting all day long, you find that your legs are a bit swollen at the end of the day, then give yourself an aroma touch massage, leg massage, and that will move things along for you. So that's going to be really, really lovely. Now, the liver obviously breaks down lots of things, and it breaks down red blood cells that are past their expiry date, that have done their job. It breaks that down. It then grabs all those components, again, reformulates it and rebuilds it into bile. So now you know what bile is. It's dead, blood cells, basically. And that gets stored in the gallbladder. Now, sometimes our gallbladder gets a little bit overworked. Things get a little bit stagnant in there. You might even have some gallbladder stones in there, and that's not going to be a good thing. So what you need to do is every now and then just do a gallbladder flush. Now, it sounds absolutely dramatic, right? And when I first did this, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be just disgusting. But it is actually really tasty. And you can just do that. It's so gentle. And you could do that for a whole month. Do that maybe twice a year, 3 times a year for a whole month. And it's really lovely. So use the juice of 1 orange or 2 lemons. Now, I have to be honest, I prefer the orange rather than lemons. Lemon is really, really sour. Then add 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I know you're just sort of panicking by this stage. Add 2 drops of ginger oil, 2 drops of turmeric oil. Then whisk the whole lot really, really quickly and drink that immediately. And I will tell you, it tastes amazing. And it doesn't actually taste, slimy or olive oily or whatever, anything like that. Make sure that your olive oil is organic as well. And Aldi stores a really nice one, which is what I use. So some healthy habits to keep you clean on the inside, but also to keep your skin clean. We need to hydrate, guys. If we don't hydrate, everything comes to a grinding halt. And of course, we've got gorgeous oils here to support that. Just a shout out for tangerine oil. It's a bit of an unsung hero. It is very, very high. In fact, it's the oil that's highest in D-limonene. And D-limonene is what we need to kind of make, for the body to make glutathione. And glutathione, you might remember back from that slide, is used as part of the phase 2 of detoxification. So if you have a sluggish liver, you might be very low in glutathione. If you need extra support, use the oils. But if you need additional super duper extra support, then go and get some what's called liposomal glutathione, and Bioceuticals is a really good company that makes a really awesome one. Liposomal means you just spray it into your cheeks, basically, into your mouth, into your cheeks. It gets absorbed that way, and it's going to be awesome to help your liver. Some healthy habits to eliminate, okay, when you go to the little room, make sure that you go on the first urge, okay? Sometimes we're just so busy, we think, oh, I can't go right now. But really just go when you need to go, and only go when you need to go. You know, there's no need to sit in the little room and solving a crossword, right? And we can use Digest to help move things along a little bit. Get your knees up, get a little footstool on either side of the loo. When we've got our knees up, elimination is so much easier. And there's no need to turn into a beetroot. To strain or push until you're red in the face is not a good idea. It's just going to, burst a blood vessel. And, those sort of things are not too clever. Instead, breathe into your tummy, really relax that diaphragm and pelvic floor, those pelvic floor muscles, and really kind of push down. Now, do take your time. 10 minutes maximum in there, right? And be patient and practice. So, and teach this habit to your kids as well. There are lots of little monkeys running about the world that are very constipated these days, and I see a lot of them. So, really help your children to develop really good habits for the little room. I'll address questions and comments later on, guys, if you don't mind, because it's all too much to handle here from this end. An external glow for, we need to nourish and fortify us, from the outside. So what we can do is we can now use some proper skincare. Okay, so once we've done the inside, that's really going to support getting rid of the toxins. Then we really shouldn't have any issues with our skin. Okay, and some good skincare regimes include things like cleansing, toning, rebalancing that pH of the skin, and then moisturizing. I've put up the HD Clear range because it's a beautiful range of products. It starts with a foam cleanser in the shower. You then apply the essential oil blend that includes tea tree oil and other yummy oils to keep the skin healthy. And then you can add the moisturizer on the top of that, and that's just beautiful combination for troubled skin. So if you've got outbreaks, if you've got teenagers, and even for adults that might have some hormonal outbreaks every now and then, this is a really beautiful, nourishing blend, and it smells absolutely amazing. The Barrage skincare set is what I use. I just love it. So again, you've got a foam wash in the shower, we've got our toner, got a beautiful serum that I use every day because my skin's very dry, but some people might just use that just once a day. They might use it as their night cream, in fact, because it's really very moisturizing, very nourishing. I also add yarrow pom to that, which is just gorgeous. And then we have our moisturizer. So beautiful low tox products that are just gorgeous. And then if you really want to go to town, you can go to the essential skincare range that doTERRA has produced. And there's things like anti-aging eye cream and all sorts of yummy things there that are just, just beautiful. Find something that works for you. That's the main thing. Because if you've got a skincare range that does what it is intended to do and nourishes your skin, then you are more likely to do it when it creates those particular results. Now, skin deep. Sometimes we need to up the ante perhaps and get rid of some dead skin cells that might have clogged up our pores. And we've got a number of options. So of course, doTERRA produces a beautiful mud mask. Now just pay attention to leaving it on for the prescribed time. It is a mask that's applied very, very thinly, and you only keep it on for a short period of time. And the reason being is that it has very active components in it that might turn your skin quite red, and it really just brings that beautiful blood supply or blood to the surface. That's going to push things out of the system. It's going to really get all the nutrients to your skin. But if you do that first thing in the morning, you're going to be quite red maybe. So do it in the evening or in the afternoon when you're not heading out the door, and then just thin layer and maximum 10 minutes, but that would be an absolute maximum. It's myrrh, that's a component in it that's really very, very active. You can also make your own, and there are all sorts of gorgeous recipes around. I found this cacao, kale, and clay face mask. with kaolin clay that you can buy. Make sure it's a beauty range. Kaolin clay. You can add some cacao powder to make it, really yummy. Some green tea. You can moisturize the whole thing, maybe with some organic chamomile tea that you've soaked, and you use that water to then make up a mask and then pop that onto your face. And of course, before you put it on your face, you add some geranium, maybe some rose, maybe some myrrh to it, and things like that. So that's really useful as well. Now, I've put in armpit detox because over the years we've slapped on goodness only knows what kind of deodorants, and sometimes our armpits get a little bit clogged up. So it's actually quite a cool idea to do an armpit detox. So what you've put on your face, you can also put in your armpit. So it's not a bad idea. And you can use the mud mask. I've heard people do that. But again, just a thin layer, guys, no more than that. Okay. Some extra scrubs if you need to go that little bit deeper. doTERRA obviously has got its Reveal system as well, which is a step 1-2 step, or it's a 2-step program, which is just gorgeous, leaves your skin really glowing. For a body scrub, doTERRA have got this beautiful exfoliating scrub. It smells divine, and it's on 10% off at the moment this month, for March 2020, if you're listening later to this recording at some other point in time. So if you're in Australia, you can get that on 10% off. Here are some lip scrubs. We often forget our lips, and these are a bit of fun. Some honey, some olive oil, some coffee grounds to give it a little bit of a scrub, or you can add different types of sugar to it just to help exfoliate that. And if you wear a lot of these lipstick that are sort of 8-hour and all day, 12-hour, never come off kind of things, it's a really good idea to do a scrub every now and then, just to kind of slough off the dead skin cells that you've got there. And again, you can add some beautiful oils. Geranium is gorgeous. Lavender oil, wonderful for the lips. Peppermint in a lip scrub is really good. It plumps it up a little bit because it brings the blood supply into the lips. So an extra little bonus tip there. And you can use green mandarin as well. Green mandarin doesn't make your skin photosensitive, so it's a really cool oil to use in anything on your face or your body. And then of course moisturize with doTERRA's lip balm, which is just made out of coconut oil and shea butter and beeswax, those kind of things that are just totally and utterly natural. Now, to step things up, you can do our 30-day renew and cleanse plan. Oops, Daisy, there we go. If you want to know the ins and outs of that, just send me a message and I shall send you the info on that. If you're not with us, with our doTERRA, in our doTERRA team as yet, there are a number of kits that will help you get started on your natural lifestyle journey. You'd start with a Nature Solution kit or a daily usage kit, which I love because it's got the cleanser that I talked about, as in the floor cleaner, not cleanser, but cleaner, toothpaste. It's got your hair shampoo and your hair conditioner in there, as well as top 10 oils. And it's got your fractionated coconut oil and so forth in there, plus the diffuser so you can clean the air. So this is a super duper kit that sometimes doesn't get talked about very much. If you're after something a little bit smaller in terms of our sampler kits, we've got the Home Essentials kit. Add a fractionated coconut oil to that and you get it up to that value there. These bottles are 15 ml. And then in our Teensy Eensy Weensy Family Essentials kit, we've got 5 ml bottles. And you get also Smart and Sassy, which I've talked about, to put into your scrubs and into your dry brushing sequence and things like that. And obviously then we can add there the fractionated coconut oil as well. If you are not enrolled as yet and you are not talking to a doTERRA representative and you want to chat to me, then that's awesome. We can get you started and then I can offer you some additional free oils as I'm a participant of Diamond Club this month. So we've got cedarwood oil or cedarwood and motivate. So cedarwood and motivate were for the daily usage kit and the Nature Solution kit starters, but if you're going for the sampler kit, I can gift you the cedarwood, which is superb for skin, by the way. It is super relaxing. It's just amazing, but it also helps you to go to sleep. And then, of course, if you're a team member of ours and you haven't activated your loyalty program as yet to get additional savings, then just give us a shout out and we can, help you with that as well. So let me just check all the questions here. On top of water, hang on, let me just slide up and see where we are. There we go. Good question there, Magda. No, it actually does disperse, but I would always shake the bottle when it comes to making up your spritzer bottle. Just shake it, okay? You could add some Epsom salts. That tends to also help a little bit, and Epsom salts are actually quite good. But, you just spritz it into your hand after you've shaken it, and, that should be good. 10 minutes maximum in the loo. Yes, absolutely. Look, if that's your escape room in the house to get away from kids and animals and partners and goodness only knows what, then please enjoy the little room. But there's no need to stay there for any length of time, especially seated in that particular position. That really is not going to, do you much good. So have you got any questions, seeing that we're just a cozy group here? Just unmute yourself and fire away if you've got any questions with regards to cleansing inside and out. I'll just unmute you all. There you go.
Barrett, I have a question.
No, I'm good, thanks, Barrett.
Good, Jill. Thank you so much, Dal. Thank you for checking in as always.
I have a question.
Yes, Magda. Lovely to hear from you.
I have a friend who's recently discovered that she's got mold in her lungs. So I was just wondering what you may recommend for eliminating that mold. I did an ITOVI scan on her, and the only thing that really came up for her, respiratory came up high, but nothing else. So I was wondering whether that was because she first needs to open up the airways, the bronchioles, before she can start eliminating. So that would be the first step. But what would you recommend for getting rid of mold in the lungs?
Definitely, obviously, opening the airways is, would be the right way to go. So whatever it suggested, easy air, or whether that's Douglas fir or any of those respiratory oils that are really awesome.
Yeah, Douglas fir was the second oil actually that came up for her.
Yeah, so that would be really, really good. I would also suggest things like On Guard on the soles of the feet, to up the ante with that, maybe 2 drops on the soles of the feet twice a day.
Yeah.
And get some extra clove and extra into the diffuser, and put clove together with wild orange, because there is some suggestion in the literature that says that clove works a whole lot better. It kind of amplified when you put it together with wild orange.
Yes, I've heard that.
Needs the 2 together. So so anything in a diffuser is just awesome. But I would go to Lifelong Vitality, because really we need to support that from the inside, as well, because the things that come out, mold that comes out of the out of the system. So things like bentonite clay, those sort of things. You could maybe have bentonite clay baths.
Yeah.
Those sort of simple things, Epsom salts, anything like that. She'll be breathing things in. She could even put those oils into the bath as well. So it gets sort of a bit of a double whammy. But, any of the things that I suggested there earlier on to keep those phase 1 and 2 going, Lifelong Vitality, an absolute must. Nothing is going to happen in the body unless the body has got enough to support its normal function.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Awesome. Let me just stop the recording for now.